How sometimes steady waiting for, I'm gonna say, waiting for love is kindness, forgiveness, 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 forgiveness. Oh no, oh sky, up heaven and sky. When people, everybody used to know, falling in love, falling in love, falling in love. When it's time, when come for you, presence. Forgiveness. Oh, forgiveness. 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 What about you? What about life? What about money? What about life? What about truth? What about freedom? What about peace? What about son? What about mom? What about dad? What about grandfather? What about grandma? What about grandfather? What about daughter? What about life? What about truth? What about peace? What about son? What about grandma? What about life? What about freedom? What about choice? What about the world? What about joy? What about peace? What about sorrow? What about mercy? What about loss? What about sacrifice? What about peace? What about everybody? Everybody gotta save my life. Everybody we're gonna find your time. Everybody forgiveness. Forgiveness. What about you? What about money? What about life? What about peace? What about son? What about brother? What about grandma? What about a girl? What about life? What about dad? What about son? What about daughter? What about grandma? What about grandfather? Yes, I see. Forgiveness. Good night, guys.